There we go. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. We were having a glitch. The link was the wrong date, wrong link. So hopefully you're making it. See, 18 of you have made it so far. Today we're going to play with the watercolor sticks. Tomorrow, Rajat will be with us. Rajat is a brand ambassador from India, and he will be doing birds with the sticks. So I thought today, instead of what we normally do, which is I use Rajat's dot card, since we've done that before, Rajat's been with us before, we were going to just play with sticks. So Anna and Gabriel and Angela are going to help me play with the sticks and or play with the tube colors. And I have the majority of the sticks with me. So if there's one you want to see, we can look at that. Also, I have 2, 4, 6, 10 of the watercolored powdered paints that we can take a look at real quick. And I think we'll just go for them. So if you're on Zoom, you can ask questions directly, please do so. And if you're on Facebook, I will be looking, as well as Gabriel and Anna and Ethel and Angela, to ask or to see your questions. Hello, Scott. Good. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and start? Oh, flip this down. We can tell when you've been gone for a while. There we go.
John?
Yes.
Can I just ask before we start?
Yes.
What do you mean by powder paint? Do you mean actual just basically pigment?
No, I mean, oh, there went my brush. I mean, paint that is in powdered form. My camera takes two, before it'll focus, it needs two things to be able to look at before it can focus.
We got a piece of gray card.
Yeah, you know, I remember you guys talking about the gray card. I don't have the gray card, but it'll focus in a second. Or
you might have just knocked it out of position and it's too low, maybe.
Well, here, let me put some paint out and then I'll show you. So let's look at, I think somebody had asked about the moon glow. So let's look at the moon glow first. Here's the lunar. It's so interesting to try to pick a stick when they're all. So the sticks are more than, I mean, you could do wet into wet with the sticks. I'm gonna do just get some color down. So there was a question. The question was, which one of the products, the tube, the pan, or the stick, has the highest pigment load? So you have an idea what they would think, which would have it?
There we go.
I'm sorry?
It's just coming to focus.
Oh, there we go. So if we look at this paper, is just really bad paper. No sizing to that paper. So the powdered paint, which we'll look at here in a second, is going to have the most amount of pigment because it has the least amount of water.
John, can you move your paper a little bit more to your left? And towards you a bit. a little bit more away from you. And then that, well, that's a bit better. That's it. We can see it all now.
So in general, it would be the powder paint, which because there's 0 water. And the next would be the pan. It has the least amount of water as compared to the stick. The next is the stick. And then the tube. It's all the same pigments, all the same binder, the Arabic. It's just how much water is in the product to begin with. So this is the phthalo green, and this is the blue shade. And I think what you've seen from Gabriel, you'll see from Rajat, you've seen from Giovanni. There's many ways to paint with the sticks. It's not necessarily that you have to draw with it. That's not a requirement, of course. And you can pick whatever amount of paint you want from the stick. Let me get here, see what questions you're asking so I can answer those. So I'd love you to play with cobalt teal blue. This is Kristen. So cobalt teal blue and pyrrole scarlet.
You were using phthalo green, right?
This right here?
Yeah, yellow shade.
Yes, this was pyrrole green, blue shade.
Blue shade.
I mean, phthalo green, blue shade.
Okay, then I'm using phthalo green, yellow shade because it's lighter. It looks lighter than yours.
So Kristen says, is the powder paint available for sale? It's something that we're working on right now, Kristen. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is the iridescent electric blue. This is just a prototype. So I can, for example, how you use is going to be kind of whatever way you want to use it, but you can sprinkle it on to do effects if you want to do effects. You're just going to have, again, super high pigment load. So if you do mix it, and it will go to watercolor instantly.
John, have you got a squirty bottle available?
I do.
I don't know whether you're going to, I'm preempting you with something then. Go on, I'll let you go on because I'm probably preempting. You know, with the powder.
Yes.
Sprinkle that on dry onto your paper, and sprinkle another color on dry, and then with a squirty bottle, squirt directly into it and watch what happens.
So I just put on here iridescent Aztec gold. And this is going to be iridescent topaz. Squirt or spray?
It's best with one that fans out a lot, rather than just a
spray.
So that's spray.
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. So you can do kind of any creative thing that you want with it. We could do what Ian just said there. This is pearlescent. Pearlescent is going to be a little bit harder to see unless it's going to be in a dark color. This is Lunar Black, so let me show you Lunar Black.
When you're ready for me, John, I have some sticks to show.
Awesome.
And when he's done, we had a request for Pyrrole and Cobalt Teal, and I have that ready when he's done.
Do we assume that the powder is the same light fastness as all your other range of paints?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it's a good question. It doesn't matter whether it's the powder, the stick, the pan, or the tubes. It's
Right.
all the same exact pigment.
Yeah.
So the pigment is exactly the same. And again, with the tube, the stick, the pan, the powder, it's all the same binder, gum arabic. The only difference is the amount of water.
Mm.
Okay. And so Anna was asking a question. I thought it was a really good question. Something Catherine brought up as well is which one has the, kind of the highest pigment load? And it would go powdered, pan, stick, tube. So if you just took a brush, each one of those, it's just because it's the least amount of water is going to have the highest pigment. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask Anna and Gabriel to show theirs, what they've been doing. Gabriel, you want to go, and then Anna, you go,
Yeah.
please.
So the first one I have here is Neutral Tint. So we just had someone recently show us this nifty little trick, and so I gave it a go. We have our little brochure, and I cut out all the info. So what we have here is the number of the series and some kind of color washout, and then all the properties and what the color is made of. So this is Neutral Tint. And then on this other end over here is Ivory Black. And so you can compare Ivory Black to Neutral Tint. We have Moon Glow. Always one of my favorites. So that is a series number 2. So it doesn't matter what series it is, whether it's 1 through whatever, they're all the same price. Like for instance, right here, we got Spring Green. That's a series number 3. So as artists, we're always trying to find good quality at affordable price. Next, we have Olive Green, one of my faves. And we got Iridescent Electric Blue. Just a gorgeous, I'll just open this up and you can just look at that. Look at just how amazing that is.
Ooh, it's like a lightsaber.
Wow. We got Carmine. Series 2. Look at that. Just lovely. Burnt Yellow Ochre. Series 2 color. I use this color a lot for the tiles here in San Diego. We got that nice Spanish look. We got Ultramarine Blue. There's the stick. It's just chilling in there. We got Persian Blue. Persian Blue, you can compare it right there with Ultramarine Blue. And then down here on the end, Mayan Orange. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. If you have any mixes, let me know and I'd be happy to do them for you. Thank you.
Thank you. So several of the colors that Gabriel showing there are brand new ones that will be out in November. Awesome. Thank you, Gabriel. Anna.
We had a request on Facebook from Kristen, I believe, to show Cobalt Teal with the Pyrrole. She requested Pyrrole Scarlet, and that is not yet in a stick, if I'm correct in understanding that. So I used the other 2 sticks that I have, which is Pyrrole Red and Pyrrole Orange. So what we have here is the Cobalt Teal underneath, and I used it both with a drawing gesture and with painting. So there's a combination. And then on top, I mixed the Pyrrole Red here, and you can see the beautiful variation as it interacts here. And then here's the pyrrole orange. And again, you're seeing beautiful variation in the pigment as it's interacting. And then earlier we also had the various, the moon glow, and I went ahead and compared moon glow with imperial purple and carbazole violet so that you can see the difference and compare. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. That's nice. So Susan asked, what do the series numbers mean? So the series numbers, what Gabriel was showing you, the large number is a pricing suggestion for the stores. If I'm able to make a color in high quantity, I try to push all of the colors to a series 1 or series 2, which means the lowest price. There are colors where the pigment is extremely expensive or it takes a really long time to be able to manufacture it, and that just increases the price. So I try to be do all the things I can reasonably do to have the price point be reasonable for the artist. But that's what the series 1, 2, 3, and 4 mean. They're pricing. Okay, so you can see that the lunar really granulates in the stick, in the tube, and also in the powdered paint. It's a high granulating, and this is the topaz over here. So we'd see a whole lot different if it was on black. So here's 4 colors that are kind of interesting. They're actually quite beautiful colors in tubes, and they're also very neat in sticks. And these are 4 Primatechs. I'll show you 3 of them, and then another color I like, which is the Graphite Gray. I think the graphite is such an interesting color. So that's the Graphite Gray. And this one is really super popular in the stick. It's very popular in the tube. I'll see if you can guess what it is. The bad thing is you're always worried about guessing. So it's a Primatech. What do you think it is?
This can be the Minnesota pipestone.
It could, but it's not. It's not Minnesota pipestone. That's a good guess.
Hematite.
Hematite?
What is that?
Hematite?
It's not hematite, but that's a good guess too.
With a P.
Quinacridone burn scarlet.
It's a Primatech.
Ah, sorry.
Is it garnet?
That's a good guess, but it's not
Is it
Garnet.
Primatech?
It is.
Um,
C-Pain got it correct.
So the Garnet, the neat thing about the Garnet, it's so pure because garnets are so pure. The one thing that you see, it's probably the color in the Primatechs that has the least amount of granulation, because there's not a whole lot of difference between the shape, the size, or the weight, which again causes that granulation. So that's kind of a tip off for the Garnet. The Minnesota pipestone is really kind of beautiful, and it has kind of a pinkish hue to it. Whereas the Piemontite is so cool in that it looks like the roofs you'd find in Spain, that you'd find in Portugal, because it has that really kind of dark tile color to it.
Looks a little bit like Caput Mortem to me.
Yeah, you can probably get there with, doing mixes with other colors as well. So what do you think this one is?
The Green Appetite Genuine.
This one?
Serpentine?
Serpent, that's right.
Serpentine.
Serpentine. And How about this one? It's a Primatech.
That one must be
That
But it's
hematite.
not a limestone,
Hematite.
bloodstone.
Hematite.
Yeah.
We are not.
John, what is Primatech?
So Primatech is when Dan and I used to, we talk about colors all the time. And we both had a huge fascination and admiration for Native Americans. And we would see, for example, in Alaska, the totem poles were done in blues and ochres and siennas that were found in the riverbeds, and they were crushed and then put into an animal fat of some type. And you can still see those today. They still last till today. And in the central part of America, they did very similar. They would find ochres and siennas, but they would, do war paint, or they would paint their ponies. Well, we as people and ponies don't last forever, but they still had the same mindset. They would use product they would find around them to create beauty. And we thought about that, and it was okay. So I think artists would be very interested in that, and we would use materials from ancient times, but use modern equipment to make it very consistent. So it's prima for primitive and tech for using technology. And then
Oh, thank
two
you.
things together. Yeah, you're very welcome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I found it was the Primatech line that brought me and switched my brand loyalty over to Daniel Smith. And we have comments in Facebook about lapis lazuli, and that was the one that brought me over to Daniel Smith.
Yeah, lapis, it's such an interesting story. It was the first aquamarine. And then after that, it was both the French ultramarine and the ultramarine as synthetic versions.
I think it's also following the trend of our culture and our time of saying we want to also be getting back to things that are natural and things that will last and survive over time.
Well, that I think that's very accurate. I think that the beautiful part is no matter where you go in the world, except Antarctica, you can find wherever there's people, there's art. So as artists, you're tied into pretty much everybody that's walked the face of the earth. If you go to Africa, you find art. You go to Australia, you find art. You go to Asia, you find art. There's really nowhere that wherever you find people, you find art, because I think it's inherent in us that we want to express ourselves. And so there's always someone trying to figure out 10,000 years ago, how can I get a color? And many of those would use dyes that were around them. They use snails, they use mollusks, they use beetles, they used ochres they would find in riverbeds. So I think that's just the human condition, is we want to express ourselves. And so yeah, it ties together.
Also, it also had a religious meaning when they represented people or deities on the walls of the caves.
Yes.
Or to ask for better hunting, for example.
Probably one of the most interesting things I've ever seen was in Australia. I went to see one of the original prisons, and because it was very historic, and there was a part where these men were on death row, and they had unbelievable artwork in their cells. And here's people that know they have their life is final, and yet there's still this need to want to express. And it wasn't really gloomy, ugly art. It was actually quite beautiful, So, and I just think that's so. That's kind of so us as humans, that we want to express ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that people can find beauty even in that context and create beauty through that suffering and marching towards death, which we all are doing.
Yay.
John, I have 14 more sticks to share.
And Gabriel, we also have a request for you on Facebook asking what is the fourth color from the right for Gabriel?
Fourth color from the right. So We got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm so happy to announce, voila, we have lavender.
Lavender.
Oh, yeah.
Look
Yeah.
forward to that coming really soon.
Now, is
Yes.
that quite opaque?
No, it's not going to be okay.
No, because normally when you get lavender, it tends to be a bit opaque.
Yeah.
On the far end, we have opera pink. And this is where it looks pure strength right here at the top. And then I did my with water from the stick. And then we have, oh, I got so messy, I can barely read it. It's carbonite, I can't pronounce it.
Herbazole.
Carbazole.
Carbazole violet, thank you for the help. And next we have Quinacridone burnt orange. You can see right here, full strength. And then we have the lavender. And then we have phthalo green, yellow shade. Again up here, full strength. Painted from the stick. A lot of people love this color in anthracene blue.
Okay.
Again, full strength. And we got phthalo green blue shade. And next we got pyro orange right here. That's a beauty.
Yeah.
And we have burnt sienna. And we've got quinacridone violet, which is a beauty. And let's see, we've got Hansa yellow medium. It's a favorite of mine. If you want a nice cool yellow. Quinacridone red. Another fave right here, cerulean chromium blue. And another fave, this is also Barb's fave, undersea green.
Yay.
Wait till the live's over before you guys run out to go buy these.
Hey, Gabriel, I could see that you have some really lovely blossoms forming in the center of each of the lines. Are you able to bring that closer to the camera so that we can see those
Yeah.
blossoms clearly? Thank you.
Give me a few seconds to adjust myself. I sprayed down the center with my spray bottle because there are times where blossoms actually do build nice textures.
Just to address an international issue here, do we call them blossoms or do we call them cauliflowers?
You're both right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
That's just to make sure people are not confused.
Blossoming cauliflowers.
I got some nice little spritzes. Good times. Wow, look at that.
Just gorgeous.
Mm.
Happy accident.
That's what makes it for me. We walk.
Ooh, look at that one. Bathroom blue.
Striations.
What
That's
about-
the right word.
I agree with you, Ian. This is one of the wonderful characteristics of watercolor, and we can't get it in the other mediums.
Yeah. You just could not do it if you tried. But it does it so naturally.
And Angela, can you show yours? Thank you,
Yes,
Gabriel.
sure. I sprayed water on these that I had. Here is the graphite gray, and this is the lavender. Together with, at the top, there is this yellow. I think I used, I think it's New Cambodia.
Again, Bosch. Yeah.
Yeah, New Cambodia, I think. And this is the permanent orange. So if you spray them, see what effects it gets.
It's nice.
Is that opera pink?
No, Spiral or permanent orange. This one.
No, no, the one in the center by the, it looks like it's by the phthalo. The one that's about center of your paper. Yeah, yeah.
That's opera. Yes. And that is moon glow. This one here is moon glow.
Yeah.
This
What was that?
is the cobalt teal blue, and this is the light green. I can't remember which one.
Green.
This is phthalo turquoise. I don't know what would happen. It's probably this green, the permanent green
Right.
light, permanent green light.
Green one.
And if I spray here, I don't know what will happen, but we can try. The color flows then. You see? I love
Yeah.
this lavender, the effect of this lavender here. Can you see the lavender?
Yeah.
And this is the new stick, the blue, what do you call it?
Is
The
it blue?
the new blue one.
Prussian blue.
No. This one, the duochrome, or what do you call it?
Electric blue.
Oh, that's
Electric
electric.
blue.
Blue.
The electric blue. That's the electric blue. Look at how gorgeous it is. It's just a beauty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you allow them to mix, they will do wonders.
Angela, do you work with a damp rag next to your hands to clean your hands? Because I see you're taking the stick and you're using the flat edge, the long edge to really get the pigment densely onto there. Do you work with a damp rag next to you to keep your hands clean or no?
No. With a
You've
paper,
let it get all
paper
over.
for my table. My hands, they will get clean when I finish. No, I don't care. I don't care. Because-
Angela,
Yes?
Karen asks, is that lunar black with the lavender?
No, that is the graphite gray.
Perfect.
Because
The
the paper has a lot of texture. That's why you can see the texture, but it's not actually granulating. Maybe a little bit. Maybe graphite gray granulates a little bit. But actually, that is not lunar black. I don't have the stick of lunar black.
Thank you.
And Angela, what are the two colors on the left?
Sorry. No. Graphite gray is this one, the lighter one. This one is the new one, the neutral tint. Yeah, that is
Okay.
neutral tint. Sorry, yes. So it takes, you can do a lot of exploration because now that it's like this, at this very point, you can add more color. For example, if I want more moon glow, I just go over it because it's very wet. And then once it's wet and I wet it more directly from the tube, I did a lot from the brush, but now I can wet it more. It can put more color and then I can spray it. And see what happens? You spray it. Can you see? I don't know if you can see it. There is a reflection of the light. Yeah. So you can play around a lot with the colors.
Buffy also asks, Angela, what's your mix with the electric blue?
The electric blue is mixed with the graphite gray, but graphite gray got mixed with the neutral tint. And this is lavender. Under here, there is lavender. So I like the thing that they mix with each other. And this, I would like moon glow to go into the blue. So I would have to turn the paper the other way because it's so wet. But anyway, you can make gorgeous effects, gorgeous. Almost, maybe not as not so easy as with the tubes, but if you put enough pigment, it can give you gorgeous results. Gorgeous.
Thank you, Angela.
Welcome.
So these are the new colors. So this is Mayan orange. mine orange. This is, Gabe will use this one. This is spring green. So spring green.
I'm using permanent green light.
Yeah, me
This
too.
is the ivory black. So ivory black has that yellow tint to it. It's kind of warm. Black. This is olive green. Olive green. These will be coming out in November. This one is Carmen. This is yellow ochre. Ochre.
That yellow ochre. It might be my camera.
But I have a yellow ochre here.
And this one is
Red ochre.
Prussian blue.
Russian blue I didn't get. I don't think so.
So ivory black, spring green, mine orange, carmine, yellow ochre, and Prussian blue. And I'll show you all of green I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 11 sticks.
New sticks.
Yes, 11 new sticks.
Wow.
That put us at 63.
That puts us at 60, 64.
Oh.
64.
Oh.
And these are the quinacridones. This is the burnt orange. This is quincoral. This is burnt scarlet. This one actually is alizarin crimson. This one is alizarin crimson. This is the quin red, and this is the violet. So quite a few quinacridones in this stick, because the quinacridones are, super popular.
Is it not already a quin scarlet?
I'm sorry.
Is it not already a quin scarlet?
Yes. So these are already part of the sticks. These are new
Oh, yeah.
colors. These are existing colors.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier on how the quins are very popular, and on Facebook, we have a comment from Martin saying, hello, regards from Bulgaria. Daniel Smith, Quinacridone are my favorite watercolor paints. I'm using them every time.
Oh, beautiful. I just got back from Bulgaria. You have a beautiful country.
Lots of sunflowers. Didn't you see sunflowers?
We saw sunflowers, and we saw a huge amount of the red poppies that Stella, who's on right now, does all the time. So
Yes.
they were everywhere. And then the canola flowers were out as well. So beautiful.
Did you
Yellow.
call them? What did you call them?
They're the rape flower, which is
The
which is
yellow. The yellow
canola.
flower.
Yes,
What
they're
is it
beautiful.
called?
It's
Canola?
RAPE, rape, or rapi, or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Great.
It's part of the it's how they make canola oil.
Mm.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's so, I mean, just like this patches of brilliant yellow. Really very beautiful.
That we
Rapeseed.
call colza. So you call it rape. We call it colza.
What do you call it?
Colza, C-O-L-Z-A, colza.
C-O-L-T. Yeah, it's when I was in California, we had the California poppy, which is an orange poppy. So it's a beautiful orange poppy, and it was so interesting to see in the wheat fields, you just see the red poppies everywhere. It's just amazing.
John, just on subject to flowers.
I'm sorry.
On subject of flowers, on your tubes, you have a little flower. What is that?
It's just an artist representation of a flower, because so many of the watercolors, the history of watercolors, if you look at, has been for the most part, people painting flowers, etc. So we kind of went with, the historic side of it.
Look up Flag of Yorkshire. Very similar.
John?
Yes.
While we are swatching our sticks, Elisa also did some beautiful artworks, not sticks, but I thought it's interesting. Can I add a spotlight?
Of course. Yeah. If anybody wants to show their artwork, of course.
Here. I know she has more.
Oh, so I am using sticks. They have been
okay.
put into pans and just kind of deformed for use. But yeah, so I have my little study of graphite gray here. And then I just did some intuitive mark making.
Oh, very cool.
This is graphite gray. And then I have here nickel azo yellow. This is quinacridone sienna. That's very dirty. And rich green gold.
May we see the abstracted mark making a little closer and
Oh.
for a moment longer? I love this work.
I actually first put some water on the paper. Then I took a chunk of the graphite gray and just smeared it on there. Smeared it further with my fingertips. And then made the little dots with my fingertips of what pigment was left on them. And now I'm just kind of adding a little bit of color. And I like this because what I try to do is also move the paper so I don't get stuck in one direction. So you can look at it many ways.
I can see someone dancing like a ballerina.
Very cool.
Did you mix the yellow there as well?
Yeah, that's the nickel azo yellow right
Okay.
on here.
Nice.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yes, thank you very much.
We have a comment on Facebook from Judy Wood saying that she loves abstracts.
Abstracts are cool.
Got a picture from last week that I've converted into a more defined image.
Can't see it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Last week,
Very expressive.
I did a swatch of colours, and then I thought, you know what, I want to put an image around it. And all I've done is I've used some of the darker colours, like soda light and what have you, built it up, and then blobbed some more colours over it to make it cohesive. Can you see that? There you go.
Nice, yeah.
Let's bring it in
Very
and see if we can.
expressive.
Probably a bit strong.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
How about you, Mark? Are you working on anything?
Just one project, which is still early days, though. It's very early days. It's a car. It's a Lamborghini, and
Oh,
so
yeah,
this is
yeah.
so it's just first wash, Going to use glazing to build up the layers. So this is just the first one of probably
Very cool.
around about 12 layers.
Is it the Lamborghini that exists or something that you've made up?
No, it's a Lamborghini Countach, 1971.
Oh, wow.
Look out to play
Our
some
love.
Blade Runner.
Is
Thank
this
you.
a favorite car of yours?
All cars are my favorite cars.
You know,
I love
I've seen-
seeing,
I've seen them back that one up and you got to actually open the door up, sit half of your body on the seat to be able to see out to back it up. Otherwise you crash it.
Yes. Yeah.
Repeat
That's-
that, John.
There's no way to see out. If you're in the car, you can't see out of a Countach. You actually have to open the door all the way up, sit half on the seat, so half your body's outside, so you can actually look outside the car to back it up. It's- and they actually used to give lessons to people who bought their cars of how to do that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing car. It's amazing.
Beautiful car, but
It
so
doesn't
impractical.
sound very easy.
I love seeing what a variety of technique and emotion that and a variety of art that we have coming between all of us.
Yes, we
Between
have
Mark
cars,
and
we
Elisa and
Yeah, we have,
Gabriel and
cars, we
Ethan.
have cats. Yeah.
Do we have any further? Oh, another question I wanted to ask you, John. Heritage-wise, you were talking about heritage and the Indian culture and all that. Is casein paint or milk paint anything that you've ever looked at?
Is what?
Casein or
No,
milk paint,
No.
milk emulsion paint?
no. In the laboratory we have, but not for production. In the laboratory, we look at everything, but we only bring out certain things for production. So yes, in the laboratory, but not outside of the laboratory.
That what first ever real paint, apparently.
I have a question. What is the difference between rich green gold and green gold?
I remember seeing that one was a little bit, its undercolor is a lot more yellow, one of them. Whereas other one is.
There we go. This is a swatch of the two.
Which is which?
So this is green gold
Uh-huh,
and that is rich green gold.
Got it.
Colors don't come out so much, but this rich green gold to me is like olive oil. Nice, deep, rich,
Yeah.
nice olive oil.
Ah,
It's got a
it's
slightly
really nice.
brown tinge to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little bit like when you go and get a gold ring. You can have a very, very light gold, or you can have more one that's more towards a red. And that one has a slight browniness to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank
all the
you, Mark.
earthiness to it. You're welcome.
Okay, so thank you, Anna, thank you, Ian, thank you, Gabriel, Ethel,
My pleasure.
Anna, Mark, thank all of you. Love to see your artwork. So if you want to share your artwork, by all means, please let us know and we'll put you center screen. I think it's of interest to everybody about how color is used. We will have Rajat tomorrow. Rajat will be using the sticks. He's used everything, so whatever questions you might have, but tomorrow he'll be doing the sticks. He'll be actually doing birds. So Gabriel had mentioned this last week. If you go to the blog, you can read more about Rajat. You can see his artwork. You can see what paper he uses, what color he uses, what brushes he uses. And by all means, if you've got more questions, ask Rajat live. You can do that on Zoom. In Facebook, we will bring your question over. Thank you all for joining today. I know there was a little kind of a, last week I had an issue with my computer being gone for 3 weeks. It wanted to do an update. The update lasted almost an hour and 20 minutes. But you know, it is what it is. And today a little bit issue with the link. So thank you for joining. Thank you for taking part. Super appreciate it. And see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right.